Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. I am still sat here, crestfallen, lost for words after what was a quality away performance against a good Fulham side that we made look shit. Kevin was a bright spot when he came on, but no one really bothered us at all. Leeds had the better of the chances, although they were also pretty well, there weren't many, is what I will say. There weren't many chances where they for Leeds United. XG is probably on the floor again. But do you know what, though? I'm not going to criticise the performance because I thought the performance was solid. We've gone to London. Again, how we've lost a game, it's mental, really. Kevin's had an unbelievable shot. Darlow's made a great save. He's made a couple of great saves, to be fair to him. The corner comes in. Goodmanson's unchallenged. I think he's waiting for someone to come in his back. They don't come, and he's sort of knelt, and it's just hit his head, and the ball's gone in the top bins, and the keeper can't really do out about it. I thought Farker's got it spot on today. Because we lose the game now, people will say he's line up and that's why we lost. It's fucking bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. And not true by any stretch of the imagination. I thought Aronson was one of our better performers today. Battled really well down that side. I mean, we probably could have done with him when Kevin came on because Kevin was very, very, very good. Had he have started the game, I would argue they might have got something before they actually did. But Leeds United, again, were just a bit toothless in attack. I think I can do, there's a cross where Aronson's clipped it into Calvert-Lewin and he's just headed it straight at the goalie. Okafor did really well in the first half, cuts inside, beats about 3 players like that around him. There's a ball to play in towards Calvert-Lewin and he decides against it. And as for chances, there's nothing after that. Like, I can't remember, I think the manager has played a perfect away performance, really. You take your points on the road and you look to win at home. And that's what he's tried to do in bringing James in late into the game and Harrison, etc. But, yeah, Fulham they can't believe their luck. They didn't deserve out today. I think a point, they would argue, was a fair result. I think we were the better side, but again, you can't grumble with a point because we don't create anything for the neutral. It's funny, actually, because when Leeds United came up under Bielsa, we were everyone's second favourite team. Leeds are going to stink up the gaff this season, but not in a negative way, in a sense of try score. Do you know what I mean? You're going to struggle. We've had to help them today. I'm disappointed for Goodmanson because I thought he had another solid performance. I think he's been great and a great addition. So I hope he doesn't, this doesn't knock his confidence or anything. He hasn't meant to do that. Frustrated at the time, of course, but he's had a great game. I think the centre-backs have had a great game. Bogle's been decent. The midfield's quality. Whichever iteration of the midfield you put on, it's quality. We will be difficult to beat. We've seen that. And that will stand us in good stead through the course of the season. But I won't be sat here saying that, because of that own goal now, we're shy. We know what the issues are. It's in the final third. Again, you look towards the board for that. They spent what they said they'd spent. I think they spent it poorly. And what I mean by that is like Bornau's not even made the bench today. That was 5 million. James Justin hasn't come on. That was 10 million. That's 15 million on players, really, that, and I think that's where the blame lies. I think the performance for me is a solid away performance. You can't ask for more other than a point and 3, obviously. But my point is like how we were set up, how the game unfolded. You're going to Fulham who, were better than Chelsea for large parts last time. If it weren't for VAR, they might win that game. They were better than Man United. They got a point against Brighton away. They're a good side. And I don't want to say we've gifted them the win because I don't think that's more so like when we're shy. I thought we were good. It's just unfortunate for us and fortunate for them. Stroke of luck. Because the thing is, Darlow's been class as well. He's made some key saves, one from Emile Smith-Rowe, one from Kevin, one from a strike. I forget who it was who took, I think it might have been Lukic, and it actually takes a deflection up way through, which he palms through. I think that, like, I'm just so annoyed because I'd be playing that over in my head thinking, how's that happened? Because he's not even challenged. I think he's expecting a challenge. And the Fulham players just sat off him and he's headed it into the back of his own net. Yeah, it's just we the problem is goals, isn't it? The problem is goals for Leeds United. We need to we need to create chances. We need to score goals. Wrong, Joe. Fuck off, Robin. I won't drop the 49ers blame game. They are at fault for this. If you want to suck them off. You won't be getting it here. They are at fault for this failed transfer window. 49ers, right? No one else, them. So don't come with that tripe here because you'll get told. And if you don't like it, go watch someone who wants to suck them off because you're not getting that from me. Yeah, no, Matty, it's a good performance. I'm not fuming. I'll feck off gladly. You're good. Do us all a favor. For me, the performance is quality. It's a great away performance. It's a solid away performance. And we have, it's an error. It's an unfortunate error. And Fulham come away with 3 points. And again, where we can't get a win. We can't get a win in London. It's annoying. But the bigger issue here, I like that performance. I'm happy with it. Even if you had all the attacking talent in that final three, even if we brought Buonanotte in, or even if Harry Wilson had signed for Leeds, I'm still happy with that performance. I'm still happy with that as a performance. Because I'm going, right, we move on. But if you look at the bigger picture, it's still a game where we've not really created any clear-cut chances. I do think maybe I'm being a little bit harsh because we're away from home. They've got a good defense. You're looking at a moment where Okafor's put through, Tete with a great defense, with a great sliding tackle at the last minute. There's been the Calvert-Lewin header that he's headed straight at him. But yeah, I mean, defensively, I think we dealt with it well. So it is what it is. I don't know what more else we're supposed to say. Really, there's not really more we can get into. What is there to get into? Anne says, utter shite, not Premier League, back down you go. If you're a Fulham fan, then I'd be worried because we were better than you. And there's no need for that language, Jan. With a name like Anne Cookman, I think you're of a certain age. So I think you don't need to be using it because no young people are called Anne. So, yeah. So be careful, I mean, listen, I don't want to call it. It's all a bit fun, right? But this is funny, man, because this now looks so brutal. The image in itself is brutal. I don't know why they thought this was a good image because it looks so shoddy and why is he dressed like a Viking and all this sort of stuff. But to think now that he's scored the OG, you couldn't write it, could you? They need to employ a new graphics guy, for fuck's sake, don't they? Yeah, look, I'm disappointed. Leeds have scored just one goal in their opening 4 league matches of the season for the first time in their history. Frank. Do you know what the worst thing is for me as well? Like I said about my bet, yeah? Well, Maybe I've won some money. Fulham 1-0, Newcastle 1-0, Bristol City 3-0. Swansea were winning 2-1, and then in the 87th minute, Hull get an equaliser. So when I seen that as well, I thought, well, what's the fucking point? So Hull scored on the 97th minute. So that's that done. Yeah, they were, Carl. They were. Like I say, we hit the crossbar. There's a few, but yeah, look, at the end of the day, we've come away with nothing. Yeah, we need a freak. Yeah, it's a freak moment. It's a freak moment. We dust ourselves on and we go again. We got Wolves next. Why anyone who's blaming the manager here, by the way, has lost their shit, has lost their head, and they're just showing their true colours. This is not on the manager. This is on the final third and the personnel that we have in the final third. If you think you're going to go to Fulham and play open and expansive Fulham and come away with a result, you've got another thing coming. You've got another thing coming. The performance, the setup, everything was fine. Everything was fine. And then, you know, we get undone by that. Yes, Vic, that is true. What's that? Why? What's being said, bro? What's being said, like? What's being said, mate? Ethan, Trav. I think you're a Burnley fan, aren't you, Ethan? There you go. That is the Premier League. That is the Premier League. That is the Premier League. Would you put Gray in against Wolves? No, Jason. No. I don't know if we can look. There is an issue there. There is an issue there. There is an issue there, but we have had a few chances. You know, if it worked for Kenny Tete, Okafor gets his shot off. Calvert-Lewin's hit the keeper head on. I'd love to know what our XG is. It won't be great. Look, I do worry. I do worry, but XG 0.58 to their 0.7. Yeah, it's an issue. Not away from home, Birchwood. It's a bigger picture, yeah. There's a bigger picture. Like I've already spoke about it, our chance creations on the floor. But you could argue the same for Fulham, right? They didn't do anything either. So there is a bigger picture to this. Of course there is. But as an away performance in isolation, that's fine. That's fine. It's a good performance. It's a good performance. We'd have got a point. We'd have all taken that. I said I'll take a point now. You'd have all taken it. Anyone that's losing their shit, it's dramatized. It's not real. I don't know why do you lose your shit over that? What's to lose your shit over? Really? Now we can talk and have a conversation about the lack of attack. But if it weren't for a freak header, then it's fine. I think what does that mean though? But that's again, you've beaten Everton, yeah. Arsenal's Arsenal. This isn't on the manager, man. This isn't on the manager. Exactly, Paul. It's mad. It's mad. And anyone who thinks it is, it's wrong. Because if you're telling me you can go back to, you can play hindsight and say the lineup was wrong, but it weren't. It were bang on. Damar says these are the sort of games we should be. No, they're not. In what world? Where do you get that from? How can you not see that? In what world are these the games that we should be winning? No, they're not. No, they're not. Do you know what I mean? Away from home is difficult. People lose their head, and before I lose my head, it's madness. The manager's putting a solid tactical performance against one of the better managers in the league in Marco Silva. We've gone to a difficult place to go in Fulham. Yes, yes. Who did that? This is what I'm saying. You're saying their shit. Did you watch our performance? That's the whole point. You listen, I'm gonna shoot because you fucking lost your mind. Go watch Karen and go lose your mind over there. Fulham are a good side, yeah. The referee wasn't great. Leeds put in a good, solid away performance. Yes, chances are at a premium. We're going to find this because our players in the final third aren't the best. I know, Smile. I know. I'm with you on that. And what? League position this time in doesn't matter. Listen, I'm going to go. We were solid. I'll see you just before 1:30 for West Ham versus Spurs. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. Have a good one. We'll be back in the morning, me and Joe doing When the Dust Settles. So I'll see you for that. Peace out, folks. Love.